Did you know that about half of Canadians live paycheck to paycheck? That's a pretty staggering statistic, but it's honestly not that surprising with how expensive some of our main cities have become. I'm looking at you, Vancouver and Toronto. So how does one save money when they're having a problem making enough as it is? Here's a few ways that you can save money without making a penny more. First, you absolutely need to know how much you spend and how much you make. I know you've heard that on every blog post and TED Talk you've ever seen on the subject, and it's because it's true. You need to know what you make and how much you spend. So I gave myself a month to track it. That way I had a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. So at the end of the month, I sat down with my banking statements and my credit card statements, and throughout the month had saved any receipts for a cash purchase. Then I sat down with a blank Excel spreadsheet. I inputted a couple different categories. To see the ones that I've used, go ahead and visit the blog post that goes with this video. And then I just continued to input all of my expenses that went to each category. That way I knew what category was the most expensive and where a lot of my money was going. Now that you know how much money should be left over at the end of the month, if there is any, you're going to want to make a savings account. So we've been putting $25 a week aside for the last couple years, and it's made a really big difference for us. Just having those bite-sized chunks every week. I've written a blog post on that, and I can link it in the description below. You're going to want to take a look at some of the resources that are at your fingertips too. So for example, credit cards. All credit cards give benefits. If yours don't give benefits, you need a new credit card. They can give you travel bonuses, bonus dollars, rebates, and so many other perks. Take a look at your employee health benefits as well. Sometimes they give money for investing. You might actually be surprised by how much your employee benefits offer. If you've never asked the question, there's somebody in your office, most likely HR, who's supposed to be able to walk you through all of these things. So make sure you reach out to that person. Take a look at some of your other member benefits too. So your gym, they might offer certain benefits at Sport Chek. My company and some of the networking companies that I'm a part of give me discounts that I can use towards Staples or H&M, whatever else I might need. How much is your interest rate on your savings plan? A lot of them that I've seen are about 0.5%. The problem with that is inflation is roughly 2%. So inflation is how expensive things get every year. And if your savings account is only making you 0.5% interest, you're losing what's called buying power. So what that means is the longer that you leave that money in that account, the less you can buy with it or the less that it's worth. So if you want to save a couple bucks, look at what your interest rates are, and then shop around and find the best one for you. You're gonna hate this next idea, but I'm saying it because it works. Cash system. There is no more determining factor on whether you can go for takeout than having $1 in an envelope. So I go to the bank once a week, and I take out the amount of cash we're gonna need for the week. I have it all budgeted, and each dollar goes into an allotted envelope. So I have, for example, $60 for gas each week. I always keep that envelope in my purse because I know I'm gonna need it at some points, and I just use that. Any auto withdrawals, I always make sure that there's enough in my account to cover those expenses, and we only live off of the cash. So I choose to do this even when things aren't tough because A, I save a lot of money doing this, and B, it makes me much more conscious about what I'm spending and what I'm consuming, and that's something that's very important to me. We have plenty more resources just like this one on our blog at ironandpearlfinancial.ca. If you've liked this video, you'll probably like our newsletter too. It's all about your health, from body to money. Remember, you're in control of your spending. It takes time and effort to get your financial future in order and say a temporary no to things that you really do want. You'll get from this what you give to it. Keep your focus in clear sight, and I promise you can start to save money without making a penny more.